I will explain who Johann Sebastian Bach was and why he is still famous 271 years after his death. Bach was a brilliant German composer and musician of the late Baroque period. He played the violin, the viola da gamba, the harpsichord, and was probably the best organist of his time. However, he was best known as a composer. He was born in Eisenach on March the 21st, 1685, the youngest of 8 siblings. He lost both parents at an early age, and, since he turned 10, his brother, already an adult, brought him up. His enthusiasm for music led to an early start to his career. The stages of his professional life developed almost exclusively in what are now called the German states of Thuringia, Saxony-Anhalt, and Saxony. Even during Bach's lifetime, it was very unusual for someone of his reputation not to perform and work in other countries. So, what makes his music unique? Bach was a modest person and dedicated his life solely to music. His compositions were revolutionary and forever changed the way of listening to music. Furthermore, he created pieces that can still be heard in concerts, during weddings, at funerals, and on Christian holidays. These include, for example, the air from the Suite No. 3 in D major, the Goldberg Variations, the Well-Tempered Clavier, and the Brandenburg Concertos. His faith is not only reflected in his music, but also his musical notations. The Baroque composer wrote the initials SDG at the end of every church composition he created on some of his secular works. These initials stand for the Latin expression Soli Deo Gloria, in English, to God alone the glory. A few years after his wife's death, Maria Barbara's, he married again to Anna Magdalena. Bach had 20 children. Many of them died at a young age, and only 10 reached adulthood. During the last stages of his life, Bach's eyesight began to decline. Becoming blind, Bach underwent eye surgery twice. Unfortunately, shortly afterwards, he died of a stroke in Leipzig on July the 28th, 1950. He lived to the age of 65, which was considered unusually old at that time. After his death, many of his compositions fell into oblivion. It was not until many years later that his works were shared with the world once more. Bach finally received the recognition he deserved as one of the greatest composers in the history of Western music. Unlike other distinguished musicians, such as Mozart, Vivaldi, or Beethoven, only a few sheets from Bach have survived. Many of his compositions remain lost. Even today, Bach remains a mystery.